And hello and welcome to Lakota West High School for girls action tonight in the GMC for the 17-1 Lakota West Firebirds taking on the 9-8 Hamilton Big Blue. Hello, I'm Bill Bretson. Joining me is Steve Nguyen. Steve, first off, two girls, two starters for Lakota West. Madison Oxley and Allie Haar have concussion protocol. They're not going to be in this game. Hopefully, according to Coach Fishman, back for the next game. Kind of levels the playing field a little bit when you have two of your starters not in.
It definitely does. It's, starters bring leadership. They bring a little bit of a tempo to the game. And obviously, Haar being a senior makes a big difference as well.
When you look at this Hamilton roster, there's one name that stands out as Cece Riggins. She leads the GMC in scoring with just under 23 a game. She's had, I think, 4 games over 30 this year. She's had one at 40 points, which broke school record. I guess if you're a coach, do you look at a player like that and say, hey, listen, you're going to get your points. We just got to work on trying to get everybody else stopped, or what? How do you look at it?
Well, that's a great question. I think in a game like this where Lakota West is so explosive, I think the key for Hamilton is to kind of try and control the game, keep the tempo slower. Cece would definitely get her points. There's no doubt about that. To your point about that, keep the game in tight, give it a chance for us to win the game at the end of the game. That's what you're going to approach with your coach.
Hamilton, under second-year head coach Harry Phillips, is going to be starting Anna Cardwell, Kira Ash, Cece Riggins, Andrea Green, and Jay Wells. The Firebirds with Andy Fishman in his 21st year, the only one and only girls coach in Lakota West history. He's going to be starting Bree Henderson. She's a junior. Sarah Jones, a senior. Jasmine Blue, a senior. Navadia Dean, a sophomore. And, of course, Abby Prohaska, a senior, 5'10 senior. Our officials tonight, Jerry Rotel tipping it up right here, and Aaron Levine and Doug Cox. We're underway here. GMC action tonight. Firebirds 12-0 in the lead. Hamilton 5-7 coming into the game. Lakota with the had the tip, and looks like we have a foul coming up right away.
Yeah, Hamilton coming out in the man-to-man. Now staying in the man-to-man after the inbounds here.
Stay with you. Stay with you.
I don't know if he said 21 or 23. So.
There's no signal yet on the scoreboard.
There's no signal on who it was. I think he signaled 21 and 23, so I don't know. It's going to be one of those two. It's either Riggins or Rogers.
Corners.
Hamilton with the ball, though. That's Andrea Green was handling the ball in the backcourt right now. Over to Cardwell, and throws the ball out of bounds. So turnover on the Big Blue.
Yeah, the Riggins family has quite a historic name at Hamilton.
Absolutely.
The sister of Ashawn, I believe, the football player.
Yeah, and then, of course, 2 Riggins on this basketball team. They're both sisters, juniors. Miracle Riggins is the other. And lady, I'm assuming they're identical twins.
Yeah.
Drive into the paint, no good by Blue. Still no score here. We've played over a minute in the game. Green. Being guarded by Prohaska. And that is broken up by Sarah Jones.
That's good help side defense there from Sarah.
Wes with the, well, she knocked it out of bounds. Okay, so Hamilton with the ball under their basket. 3-point attempt. That is no good by Cardwell. Neither team is very good at shooting the 3-point. Both are under 30%. Steal, though, by Cardwell. Comes back the other direction now for the Big Blue. Green.
West playing a very high pressure defense here. Trying to force a turnover.
Kira Ash, and shot's no good. Prohaska with the rebound. And Prohaska, 8-footer, off the rim, out of bounds. Not quite.
On the touchline.
Now on the line. CC Riggins does have a foul. Okay, we show up there. She has 1 foul. I'm assuming the other foul might have been on, I think he signaled 23, so we'll have to catch up with that when we get our stats.
Yep.
And taken away by Jones. Back the other direction to Ballou, and Ballou gets the first points of the game. Jasmine Blue averaging 9.2 a game, 3.9 rebounds.
This is where Hamilton has to be careful.
And Harry Phillips is calling a timeout. And see if he's going to call a full timeout. He's going to call a 30-second timeout. I had a chance to talk with Coach Phillips before the game tonight. He's in his second year. They were 6-17 last year, 9-8 this year. So he says we're making progress. And, he's coming in with a program that a couple years ago they had a fairly decent program. They lost a bunch of seniors. And then so he's kind of rebuilding from the ground up. He has Riggins, of course, as his leader. And she's only a junior, too, which is amazing. And interesting fact about this, and we talked about this before the game tonight, CeCe Riggins had a milestone Saturday night against Oak Hill. She scored her 1,000th point of her career. She has 1,001 points.
Yeah, thank you.
And Sammy Poisis from Mason did the same thing that night, and she's a junior at Mason.
That's amazing.
Now, think about that.
The chances of that happening.
Chance of that happening is slim and none, but two juniors crossing the 1,000-point level in one night.
Prohaska was fortunate that called a foul there.
Yeah.
White. And in front of the ball.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong milestone for a junior.
Yes.
Go. Move.
Both of them, yes.
Yeah.
Ash.
5-second call.
Yeah, 5-second turnover on that. She's about, I think that the Hamilton record is about 1,214 points. So she has an outside shot of getting it this season. They would have to go probably 2-3 games deep into the tournament for her to do it and continue her average. But she certainly will get that school record by her senior year.
Oh, yeah.
Barring any injuries, of course. Shot off the rim by Dean. Back the other direction comes Cardwell. Cardwell to Green. 3-point attempt off the rim by Ash.
Nice box out.
Prohaska. And Prohaska, and they take the ball away. Stolen. There's CeCe Riggins right there. CeCe with about a 5-footer, and it won't fall. So we've played almost 4 minutes and only 2 points scored in this game. And that's going to be a turnover. There's some travel.
Well, I tell you, so far the game is in favor of what Hamilton wants to do. However, I'm noticing Hamilton rushing their shots a little bit. I think they'd be better served to kind of keep control of the game and keep the game tight. Some of these rush shots are not paying any dividends just yet.
Jada Scales has come into the game. She's 0. And also coming into the game is Jordania Ivy. She's a 5'7" freshman, number 21. I tell you, every year it seems like Andy Fishman always has this really standout freshman.
He knows how to build a program, doesn't he?
He does. They don't rebuild, they just reload.
Yeah.
Of course, state champions 2 years ago. Been in the regionals the last 4 years.
That's quite the accomplishment. Nice drop step.
Oh, nice job inside there. Jasmine Blue has all 4 of the points. And the foul is on Jay Wells.
That's a great drop
And that
step.
was, Jay Wells was the one that had the foul originally. So,
yeah.
So that puts Blue at the line. She's a, double check my 73% foul shooter. Couldn't read my own writing there. And off the rim. Tie up.
We're going to call a foul on that one.
Oh, foul on Gales.
Yeah.
It's Gales first. That's first on the Firebirds. So we've played just about 4 minutes, and it's Blue 4, Hamilton nothing right now. Stolen. Inbounds is stolen by
look at the
Gales.
basket right here.
Gales off the rim. Rebounded out by Rogers. Kayla Rogers, a 5'11" junior for Big Blue. Hamilton triggering in and Cardwell caught the ball and just could not control it. Coach Phillips wanted a foul on that, but I just think she just goes out of control here.
Yeah, I think it's hard to get that foul when you look like you're not in control of your body.
Prohaska, you can see her right there in front of the West bench, triggering in.
This is Ivy on the ball, right?
Yep, the freshman Ivy. Prohaska, oh, that's knocked away and finally taken away by the Big Blue, taken right back by Gales. Gales Blue looking into Prohaska, and I think hindsight better than foresight, but I think Abby should have turned and maybe tried to take a shot on that. She might could have created a foul. So she tried to kick it back out and went out of bounds. Navadia Dean is back in the game, 6'1" sophomore.
Once again, I think Hamilton needs to play and take care of the basketball here. They're forcing things that they don't need to force.
Under 4, and the Big Blue have yet to score. But they've held this Lakota offense, which is averaging 63 a game, to only 4 points.
Nice rebound by Prohaska.
Prohaska way up to Gales and out of bounds, and last touch by Cardwell. Gales now going to be triggering in underneath the West basket.
Look for Dean here, I think. Here she comes around. There's the pass to Dean.
Dean, she was being guarded by Green.
They had the matchup too.
Taken away though by Hamilton again. Andrea Green. Over the Ash.
Good double team.
And still maintaining now. Well, and a little acrobatic play there by Abby Prohaska, and it will still stay with the
Big Blue.
Big Blue. Bree Henderson back in the game for West. And coming into the game right now.
There's the holding foul.
And foul is on Prohaska. That's her first. Raven Jackson, freshman in the game for Hamilton, number 15. She's on the ball now.
Raven's a freshman getting some playing time.
Yep. According to Coach Phillips, the future might be at the junior high level right now. Apparently their 8th grade team in Hamilton is very good. And that is stripped away.
Great strip by Henderson.
Taken away by Henderson, and Prohaska looking around, and that's going to be a foul on.
Looks like it's going to be on Riggins.
On Riggins, yeah. If that's foul on Riggins, that's her second.
They adjusted the scoreboard up there to 1.
Okay, so they have 1. So we're still missing 1 in here, I think.
Check the scoreboard.
No, I don't think there was a foul on that one. I think they took it away because there's only 3 fouls, and I got them. Oh. So, that's definitely a foul.
Yeah.
That was on Jackson. So the freshman picks up the foul. That's the 4th one on Big Blue. So once again, Gales triggering in for the Firebirds.
Nice move by Prohaska.
Prohaska on a baseline, and it bounces in. She gets the shooter's roll. Abby, averaging just under 15 a game, has her first basket.
There's the trap.
And taken away by Henderson. And Henderson, the 5-footer, she got it. Now the scoring is picking up for the and Harry Phillips is going to call a full timeout right now. I was looking at some of the stats right now today, Steve, on Abby Prohaska. She is in the top 10 in top 10 career now at Lakota West in 4 different categories. She is now 2nd in rebounds.
Wow.
She is 2nd in assists. She broke the steals record earlier this season. She has 77 coming into the game. And and she's tied for 5th in blocks. That's amazing. And the assists right now, she has 252. Nia Staples holds a record 268. So she should be able to get that within the next 2 or 3 games. Hopefully, she can get that record. So
you know what's amazing? It's just how balanced her abilities are.
Yeah.
She can pass, she can shoot, she can steal, she can rebound. She's the all-around.
Probably one of the reasons why Notre Dame wants her to play basketball for them next year, because that's where she's going, to Notre Dame University. So
that balance of talent's amazing.
Yep. So she'll go from a Firebird to an Irish.
And we'll be watching.
A Fighting Irish.
I don't want to call it too early, but undoubtedly a Hall of Fame career at Lakota West.
Oh yes, I would say.
See, this is the
that
trouble.
That would be a good statement right there.
Pretty good bet, huh?
Yeah.
Here's where Hamilton's getting in trouble. We talked about this at the beginning of the game. If you look at the last game for these two teams, turnovers was a major issue for Hamilton, and we're starting to see it come to haunt them now.
They West created 26 turnovers in the first time these two teams met, which West won 63-31, and they held them to 23% shooting.
Wow.
And they're doing just as well in this game so far.
Yeah.
Right now they're pitching a shutout.
Good ball movement.
There is a shot, is no good by Jones.
Oh,
Offensive
nice
rebound though by Henderson. Wow.
Good look by Prohaska. There's why she's the assist.
Yeah.
Always
Sarah
has eyes
Jones,
forward.
are they going to call it? No, it's a Sarah Jones gets a basket right there. And give her one more assist now. She's that much closer to Nia Staples now for that record.
Coach Fishman's signature press.
And that really was an unforced turnover right there. Green just couldn't hold on to it. Jasmine Dean back, or Jasmine Blue back in the ball game for Lakota West. She's going to trigger the ball in. Brianna Henderson, Bree Henderson, the junior, is. I was going to say on that last rebound, Steve, she's only 5'5".
Yeah, I tell
the
you
smallest
what,
girl on the floor.
a lot of grit to her.
Yep.
Fought for that ball. It's kind of a nice luxury for Coach Fishman to have a junior being the main ball handler.
Foul is on, and now they're putting her on 30 right now. The foul was on Ash. That's her first. And at the line is Dean. She's a 56% foul shooter. She got her first. And the shutout continues at 12-0 in favor of Lakota West.
Yeah, they're driven right to the trap.
Back to the middle.
Over the timeline, though. Ash at least makes it over the timeline.
Screen back. Miracle, screen back to CC. And up.
Last touch by the
Miracle.
Firebirds, so Ash triggering in now for the Big Blue.
W.
45 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Hamilton yet to get on the scoreboard. Gonna try it there. Well, they get on by a three-point way. That's one way to get on big time. That's Ash. That's her first points. And rebound. Shot was no good. Rebounded by Big Blue, but it's taken away. Blue. Jones, 14 seconds now. Jones underneath to Gales. Offensive rebound, no good. Still another offensive rebound. Who else? Jones.
Boom.
And boom. Steps back out. Sarah Jones gets the three-pointer. Right at the buzzer we go. We played one quarter in the books right now with the Firebirds up 15-3 in this contest. Go over our crew here tonight. There's my crew sheet right here. Of course, our director, our main man out there. Oh, we'll hold him last. We'll hold the best for last, okay? Camera on the cameras, Johnny Holton, Mark Watkins, Jake Reynolds, Jason Jackson. They're our camera operators, and our main man in the truck is Kyle Holton, who's done a great job getting everything set up. I know he had some generator problems on Saturday. That's why we could not do the East-West game on Saturday. So we've had a couple of technical difficulties. We're finally, third time's charm, we're finally getting this. And the one game that we did not do, we will tell you that we rescheduled that game for next Wednesday, and that's going to be Lakota West girls against Princeton. That should be a good one too, because Princeton, right now the Vikes are sitting third in the league at 8-4, 9-7 overall. So that will be our game next week that we're going to have. We still have, if everything goes right, we have the East-West boys still. They'll be coming up a little bit later on in the season too.
Yeah, it's the following Friday after that.
Yeah, that's right. So, of course, the guys are a week behind the girls. The girls are doing the seed meetings. Can't believe the season's gone so fast. The seed meetings for girls basketball in Ohio is this coming Sunday, February 4th.
That's amazing how fast the season always goes in high school basketball.
Bill Brett, Steve Newman, glad you have joined us here. Lakota West TV. In quarter number 2 here. Big Blue finally got on the board. So I think I said Lakota TV. We got a new TV station here. How about Westchester TV? So the drive by Gale's no good, taken away, and I think we have a foul on the floor here.
That's actually a good foul. CC was on the way to the basket free.
Yep. I think it was on Sarah Jones, they call it. Yep. Jones, that's her first foul, and that is the team's third. So Westchester TV has replaced Lakota TV now. So it's always been Westchester, because it's been Westchester long before it was Lakota anyway out here.
Yeah.
So just ask Bob Ashby, he'll tell you that.
That's exactly right. Bob has every statistic in his mind, doesn't he? He's amazing. He knows everything for you.
Cece Riggins just picked up her second foul. Riggins has yet to score in this game.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough haul for Hamilton if they can't get CC on board.
Gales off the rim. West not shooting that well from the foul line. They're 2 for 4 right now. Andrea Green back into the ball game now for Hamilton, and she misses them both. But steal by Gales. Prohaska. Oh, Prohaska is fouled. And that's by Miracle Riggins. CC's sister is in the game now. That's Miracle Riggins. That's her first foul, but that's a 7th now on the Big Blue. So Prohaska at the line. She is a 73% foul shooter. And Abby gets her first foul shot. Firebirds back to 500 now for a foul shooting. She gets them over the top of that. She makes them both. She has 4 points now, 17-3 lead.
Yeah, Hamilton has to stay spread out here, or else the trap will come. Here comes the trap.
Ash controlled it right there, but or Wells, I'm sorry, Jay Wells. Kira Ash has the ball now.
Come on.
Drea Green.
Go to your left. You gotta go to your left.
Back over the Miracle Riggins. At least there's a Riggins on the floor.
Give it to
Yeah.
her.
And Prohaska with the steal. Feeds it back out to Ivy. Ivy with the basket. Freshman Ivy gets her first basket.
Great court awareness. I don't know if you saw Prohaska's eyes, but her eyes were up before she even had the ball in her hands. Knowing exactly where to go with it before she even had the ball.
And Anna Cardwell coming back in for the Big Blue. And Jasmine Blue coming back in for the Firebirds.
On your roster, do you have Green as 30?
Yes. No, Ash is 30. Green is 13.
On the official roster, as
Yeah, they apparently
swapped it on you?
They swapped it. Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
the old jersey swap. But we do know that's Ivy, who just triggered it in now to Henderson.
Yep.
About 6 minutes to go in a half. Ballou, drive, no good. Rebounded by Riggins. CC Riggins back in the ball game, playing with 2 fouls, and nice assist into Miracle Riggins. That's a Riggins. Miracle Riggins' first basket. And just like that, answers the other direction comes Sarah Jones with her 8th point.
Boy, she's quite the weapon on the outside.
Well, you're going to answer, you're going to have a 2, you answer with a 3. That's pretty darn good. Turnover on Hamilton again.
Well, when you come to the Firebird home, you know pressure is going to be part of the game.
Absolutely. West has won 59 of the last 60 league games. Their only league loss was last year, the Mason, by 1. They did lose to Mason in the regional semifinals, too. So. What a move by Henderson. My gosh. Henderson, 5'5". She's not afraid to mix it up underneath there. Like you said, she's a gritty player.
Yes.
And the double team is on, and they got to get it over that timeline. Just barely got it over the timeline.
Stop! Move! Stop!
We are approaching about.
Ooh, shouldn't have picked up the dribble there.
Yeah, and taken away by Ivy. Ivy misses that. It's Jones, and blocked out of bounds by Ash. Andrea Green back in the ball game for Hamilton. And also Michaela Rogers back in. Henderson triggering in. Gets it out to Ivy.
Nice looking
Ivy
inside.
looking into Jones.
Another great
Jones.
pass.
And it's blocked by Rogers.
Got it with the body.
But she got her with the body, so too much on the block there. Rogers at 5'11". She's a junior. She's actually the tallest player on the Hamilton team.
Sends Gales to the line for
Gale, 74% foul shooter, and boy, she is struggling tonight. Steve, she's 0 for 3 from the line.
Some nights
tonight.
go like that.
Yeah.
Some nights you just don't have the stroke down. Fortunately, West is still up in with a 19-point lead.
Dean back in the ball game. She replaces Henderson. Got that one.
Yep.
Got her first point.
Oh, nonchalant inbounds pass. Got him in trouble.
Yep. Stolen and could not drop for Ballou. And it's going to go to Hamilton. So they could not take advantage of the steal on the inbounds. It'll be interesting to see our stats at halftime, what the turnovers are now in this game.
Well, they'd use Ash as the inbounder. She's out of the game right now, so they're using Miracle Riggins as the inbounder. That last one's very nonchalant.
Green
W!
putting on a little dribble exhibition out there.
Swing it!
Cardwell with the ball. Under 4 minutes to go now in this first half. And her drive to the basket, and she is fouled. And the foul is on Ballou. That's Jasmine's first.
Gotta reverse the ball!
And that is the team's fourth.
Stop holding it!
But they said she was shooting, so that puts Cardwell at the line. First Big Blue player to be at the line tonight, and she's 54% foul shooter. Got her first point of the game.
I'm seeing a little frustration in CC's eyes, by the way.
Kira Ash back in the ball game. She replaces Miracle Riggins. Cardwell's now second attempt. And the sophomore misses the second one. Baloo looking in. Oh, nice feed from Baloo into Ivy. And the freshman Ivy has 4 points now.
That's fantastic. It's a great look on the inside.
Ivy averages 2.6 a game, so she's over her average. And that steal was created by Gales, but they could not take advantage of it. Back the other direction comes Andrea Green. And Green's tied up.
They're calling the foul, I think.
The foul was on
White.
Navia Green, and that's Dean, and that's her first foul, and that's the 5th on the Firebirds. Just a little over 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter, first half. Hamilton had a 5-second violation last time, and they got it in this time. And just basically thrown up by Riggins.
Yeah, she was fortunate to get a bailout call from the referee.
Gales picks up her second foul. And that does put CC at the line. She's 80% from the line this year.
That's pretty strong.
You can see why. Nice basket by her on that one. And believe it or not, that is with 3:10 to go in this first half. That's CC Riggins' first point of the game. Got him low. She's only been held under 10 once this year, and that was against Mason earlier in the season. She had 8 points there. Other than that, she's been in double figures all the way out, including a 40-point game.
I'm sure that's part of the game plan, just to try and let everybody else beat us instead of CC.
Yeah.
Or make everybody else beat us. Ooh, picked up the dribble in a bad place. Foot was on the line.
Yeah. Well, so far they're doing a good job in all the Hamilton players, since Big Blue only has 8 points.
Yep.
I was thinking today, Steve, there's not a whole lot of college teams that do not have a nickname that end in S. I don't think there's a whole lot of high school teams either that their last name does not end in an S.
Well, you mentioned one earlier, the Irish.
The Irish, yeah. Well, that's for college, but
in high school you're saying?
Yeah, high school. I mean, I'm trying to think around how many around this area.
Oh man.
Official
now you're making me think.
Yeah. Well, they're the only one in this league. We know that. So, but yeah, I think there only about 14 or 15 in all of major colleges that have
a nickname that doesn't end in an S.
Yeah. We'll have all our people watching the game. You can think about that as Abby Paraska gets a nice little baseline move for her 6th point of the game. And Miracle Riggins back in the ball game now. Miracle loses the ball, though. Ivy picks it up. Knocked away, but Ivy gets it right back.
That's going to be a foul.
Dean is fouled underneath. And that foul is on Miracle Riggins. That's her second. And that is the 9th now on the Big Blue. Puts Dean at the line. She's 2 for 2 tonight. Make that 3 for 3. Rolls it off. Sarah Jones back in the ball game now for the Firebirds. Dean takes a seat on the bench. Dean at 6'1" is the tallest player on the
West.
On the West team. Actually, Lakota, sophomore Estelle Lakota is also 6'1".
Get in the middle.
Look at Henderson working for the 5-second call. There's the 5-second call.
Nice job.
Just great footwork.
King, let's go. Come on.
And as quickly as she came back out, Navia Dean is back in the ball game. Ivy takes now a seat on the bench. Jordania Ivy, freshman. Nice job out there. He's giving some good minutes for Coach Fishman.
Three quarters, Miracle.
Gotta get this in.
Miracle.
Anderson brings the ball over the timeline for the Firebirds. Off the pick, and oh, wow. Nice job by
Pick and roll, huh?
pick and roll by Dean. She came right off of that and almost got the basket. Kira Ash picks up the foul. That's her second. That is now the 10th on the Big Blue, so that's going to give Dean 2 attempts now. She's 3 for 4 from the line. Has yet to score a basket tonight. And off the line. We're going to see a replay coming up here.
Here's the pick and roll.
Yeah, nice job. She
Right
just
across
couldn't
the-
get it to fall. Off the rim. Whoa. Well, the Firebirds have a nice lead right now, but they're struggling from the foul line tonight. That's
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the statistic line looks like. 'Cause even the field goal shooting hasn't been as crisp as normal for the Firebirds.
no. Well, Sarah Jones sinks that one. Sarah's leading scorer right now with 9 points. And she gets that one. Well, I tell you what, if you want to get deep in the tournament, Steve, you got to do 2 things. You got to play defense and you got to make foul shots.
Definitely. It's actually very understated how important free throws are.
Absolutely. And West is not a bad foul shooting team. They're averaging for the team. They're averaging around 65%, which is decent. I mean, I think you'd like to have it closer to 70, but you know, some of their mainline players are over 70 points, 70%.
Yep.
.114 to go here in quarter number 2. Ash.
Good. You gotta go. You gotta keep going, Kira. Get to the basket. Dribble drive.
Riggins dishes it off. Back to Riggins, and it's tied up underneath it. It's going to be a possession call. It's going to go to the Firebirds.
Ace. Ace.
I know over the years you've called a lot of games. How do you compare this West team to the state champion West team?
Well, gosh, they're kind of different teams, you know. You had Canatelli on that team.
Right.
You have Whitaker in that team. You had the big person in the middle. They don't really have a big person in the middle like a Whitaker in there. But Prohaska is a person to be a little bit different from that team.
Yeah.
You know, although Abby was on, as a freshman, was on that state championship
Yes,
team, as was Sarah Jones.
I did not know
I believe Sarah was on that team too. And I'm looking down here, man. I think Madison Oxley was on that team. So, and Allie Haar. So, that's a travel. Going to go to Hamilton here with 35.5 seconds to go. Ivy back into the ball game for West. Prohaska is going to take a seat in the bench for the rest of this quarter. CC Riggins. Riggins going to try to take a coast-to-coast. 5-footer, no good. Off the rim. And rebounded by Dean.
Stay. Move your feet.
Dean looking into Ballou off the rim. Ballou's knocked down. She's fouled underneath. Foul is on Andrea Green. And that's her first foul. So Ballou, 2 attempts. Get that one. She missed her first one of the night. So she's 1 for 2, 5 points.
Yeah, we definitely had a pretty strong perimeter shooting squad in that group. Guys are the state champions.
Yep.
Don't have quite that shooting on the perimeter now.
No. Like I said, they're not. Like I said, neither team's outstanding from 3-point. Both of them are under 30%.
Yeah.
So, and Riggins almost loses it and does lose it. Throws it out of bounds. And you can look at Cece right now. She's got that look of frustration on there.
Yep.
She's a real team player in the sense that Coach Phillips said she would rather give up a lot of those points for the wins. And that's to me that's a champion player.
Yep.
Wants to do that. Like I said, she's only a junior. And at the buzzer, the three-pointer is no good by Jones. So we go to the halftime here with the West with a commanding 34-8 lead. Steve and I will be back for second half action in just a moment. Don't go away. And Bill Bretstein, UM, back here at Lakota West High School, where the Firebirds have a 34-8 lead right now. We're looking at the stats right now, Steve, and I think a couple of things. Well, the one thing stood out was turnovers.
Yeah,
so
we talked about that right from the beginning. You really had to have Big Blue take care of the basketball, and that didn't happen in the first half.
24 turnovers that
wow.
Were created for them, and they're only shooting 22%. And we're talking about the foul shooting for West, 58.8% from the foul line, something that I'm sure Andy Fishman is not liking, 10 for 17. They're shooting 39% from the field. So, but they are winning.
Yeah.
So, it's you can't yell at them at a whole lot when you're winning. So that's what I always say right now. But
that's true. But I'm sure coaches, especially of successful programs like Mr. Fishman, are going to find ways to keep getting better, and that's a great statistic to work off of.
And speaking of statistic, Bob Ashby gave us a statistic that right now Lakota West has what was that streak?
It's a consecutive win streak.
It's right here.
Yep.
28. They have won 28. They have won in the league. As we said, their last loss in the league was to Mason last year in the league. The record is held by West at 39 straight. Well, they won't get it this season. If they're going to get that, they have to win out the season and then get it sometime next year. So
something to keep an eye on.
Yep, Cece Riggins shot in the middle. It was partially blocked, and they're going to say it's a possession call. It's going to go to Lakota West.
Yeah, Hamilton not happy with that early whistle. I can't disagree with him there.
And
just a Hamilton ball.
And also, we got an update here. I'll let you take this one because you knew a little bit about this, about one of the Lakota West players.
Yeah,
that is not here.
Kaylin Manukovic not being here today. Visiting in Florida for a USA U17 soccer camp. And she's getting evaluated down there for a selection for the national team. That's a pretty cool honor.
That's unbelievable. She'll be back in uniform Saturday against Coleraine. That'll be the next game for West. And Harlan Oxley hopefully will be back for those games too. As they said, both of them are out on concussion protocol.
I'll tell you what, those concussion protocols are tricky things. There's certain tests that they do in the preseason to make sure they have a baseline, and then they continue to measure it against that baseline.
Yeah, it is an interesting thing here that they do. Prohaska, easy basket the other direction now for Abby. That will be her 8th point.
Speaking of concussion, Green got hit in the head there. She looked a little bit dazed on that steal, so looks like Coach Phillips is going to be subbing her out right away. She's on the ball now, so she looks okay. Coach takes a timeout.
Yeah, he's going to take timeout. He's going to take a full timeout. Yeah, we talk about it. I know you coach soccer. I've coached track and field.
Yeah.
Don't get it so much in track and field, but actually, I believe isn't soccer one of the leading sports for concussions?
It is.
I think in the country, but I've had to deal with it too with athletes. So.
Yeah. I tell you, in soccer, I think the misnomer is there has to be some contact with head-to-head. I'll use my daughter as a story. She was playing for NKU at the time, playing against Morehead State. She was going up for a defensive header, didn't make any contact with the ball, and was jolted from behind. And the head jolt, with the brain being in fluid, actually caused the concussion.
Wow.
And she was out for 4 weeks. And that was an interesting point of concussions is the fact that our brain sits in fluid, and just jolting or movements can sometimes trigger a concussion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you hear it so much in football. I mean, that's the thing you hear more than anything else in pro football. And all the way down, high school down into junior high and everything. And I think we were talking back in a football season, seeing some decline in numbers in some football teams and, football programs. And I'm wondering if, this has been so much in the news, it's getting to the people now where they're saying,
not worth the risk.
It's not worth it. And even some of the kids are saying that.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that when you ask a parent, safety or sports, safety is going to be number one. And the long-term effects of concussions have yet to be really completely studied. You get everything from ALS to all kinds of constant short-term memory loss.
Yeah, and you're starting to see in some of the older players right now. I mean, it's coming up with in NFL, you hear.
For sure. Studying brains after they pass away.
Yep. Prohaska with the rebound. Back the other direction now comes Abby. She's going coast to coast and got the basket. She's in double figures now with that basket.
That's what I love about Abby. She gives you all different types of dimensions. She can take it at one-on-one. She can go ahead and dish it off. She can do a lot of things with the ball.
We're talking about her assist right now. Let's looking back on her in the she had 2 assists in that, so she's 2 closer to Nia Staples right now.
How many short is she?
She came in, I think, 16 short. So now she's 14 short. And Blue gets her 8th point now. 6-0 run in this quarter now for the Firebirds.
Oh, great look.
Dish off from Henderson to Jones. Sarah Jones.
That's the one thing I love about West's style play, very unselfish.
And Jones, they show her with 10. I got her with 11 points right now. Shot was taken by Wells, no good.
Great box out by Henderson. Oh, this
Prohaska
is a
3-point.
Wow.
Got it. So Abby's heating it up this quarter now. She has 7 in this quarter, 13 for the game. And stolen away by Blue. And Blue, easy basket. And I tell you what, Harry Phillips just called a timeout. And we got 4:29 to go in the third quarter. That is his 4th timeout. He's going to call a full timeout, so he has one more 30-second timeout left. And not much he's going to do. His team's been sitting on that 8 points now for quite a long time.
Yeah, I think he's been trying to slow them down and trying to get them a little more disciplined in their play and taking care of the basketball. Unfortunately, it hasn't played out that way.
Well, if Oxley and Har are out right now, 2 important cogs in this Lakota West team, at least it's not affecting the team that much right now. They're surviving without him right now. Sarah Jones, or Alexander Har, is going to play her college basketball up at Niagara, up in New York, and when Sarah Jones is going to be at Embry-Riddle. Now, I asked, Andy told me that before the game tonight. I never heard of the university. It's down in Florida.
Well, as you mentioned it to me here, I've never heard of it either.
No.
Do you know what is it Division
I
1?
would guess. I don't know.
I kind of.
Now I'm going to look it up when I get home, find out a little more about it.
Yeah.
But that's where she's going to play. And, of course, we said Abby Prohaska is going to be playing at Notre Dame. And shot is blocked, but that's going to get Cece on the line again. And fouls on Dean. That's her 2nd. I also asked Coach Williams Coach Phillips about Cece.
Yeah.
And said that Cece would like to play ball close to home. So she might be looking at some of the local colleges around here. And I would think the young lady is doing so well in her career right now. I think any of the college universities around here, UC, Xavier, Miami, NKU.
She's got a lot of options for sure here.
Yeah.
I think the same held true with her brother. Her brother is playing football at IU, I believe.
Yeah.
So not too far away, playing in the Big Ten school.
No. Rogers with the steal. Back the other direction. We're under 4 minutes here in the third quarter.
This is Green on the ball.
She's being guarded by Ivy. Ivy, the freshman, back in the ball game. She's seeing some minutes tonight for.
She has.
Ash takes a 10-footer off the rim. Blue at the rebound. Outlet way up the floor. She outthrows her team right there.
It was interesting. She had two options, and she threw it right down the middle between the two of them.
Yeah.
But she threw it towards the basket, so neither one of them actually made a move to the basket, too.
She just threw just a bit too much on that.
Yeah.
Ash bringing the ball over the timeline. She's being guarded by Ivy. Ivy, look at that. Quick hands.
Yeah.
And Blue gets it off to Jones. Jones, easy basket by Dean.
Yeah, this game is definitely out of hand now.
Navia Dean gets her 5th point.
It's that shot.
And shot was taken by Rogers. And that was a 2-pointer by Rogers. That's her first basket of the game. And a steal by Hamilton.
It's a bad turnover by Ivy trying to force the ball on the inside.
Prohaska back in the ball game along with Henderson. Jones and Blue take a seat on the bench for the Firebirds. Miracle Riggins back in the ball game now for Hamilton. She's going to trigger it in for the Big Blue. Thought of any more non-S teams there, Steve?
You know,
high school?
Boy, that's a tough one in the high school.
I know, it is. Prohaska with the steal. Back the other directions. Miracle Riggins stays off of her as she gets the basket. That's her 9th point of this quarter.
I think Miracle rolled her ankle.
Yep.
Yeah, she rolled her ankle on that play.
She
Over pursuing a little bit.
Lakota West trainer is looking at her right now, and Hamilton coaches are going out on the floor right now.
Wow, you're kind of bringing me to think about this now. Let's see.
So, well, now, is this go to college? Now, college, you got the Fighting Irish. You said it. Green Wave, Tulane.
Yeah.
Now we're going to see this again. We're going to see what happens to.
Yeah, there's the roll of the ankle.
Yep.
That left ankle.
You see Prohaska stopped there, but she did not.
Yeah. It's tough to run full speed and not understand what, or not know what to expect, and all of a sudden have to slam on the brakes there. Look at that.
Yeah, Prohaska did a good job of slamming on the brakes, but but Miracle did not. She is up. And
it's good to see her walking on it.
Yeah, she's walking off the floor. Okay, you get the midshipman, Navy.
Boy,
here's another one people don't realize. Stanford is the Cardinal. It's not the Cardinals. It's just a single. That's the Cardinal.
Huh, really?
Yeah. Is Wichita Wheat Shockers or no? That'd be an S. Never mind.
I know their little logo or team stamp thing is a wheat thing, right? It's a piece of wheat blowing in the wind.
Yeah, but I think there's an S on the end of it.
I think you're right.
Should be the Tornadoes. It's Kansas. What the heck?
Yeah. Or the wind.
Yeah. Exactly.
Go, go, go! Go, Kira! Ball screen.
Yeah, we have everybody watching the game thinking about that now. So now you know what happened is, and what they can do is we can't do this right now. People are at home, looking at the computer right now. They're looking it up They're Googling it. So.
Well, I was watching an old episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Do you know when they phone a friend, people were figuring out they could Google every question you ask. So there was people actually, hey, look this up on Google. They were actually saying that on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It's kind of funny. Made me think of that.
Henderson knocks it away, but it's going to stay down Hamilton's end.
The other thing you're going to do is you're going to make me think about this when I get home tonight, and I won't be able to sleep because I got to try and come up with a couple of names to send you. Wake up with nightmares. Can't name those.
I know. Well, I'm thinking about it too, but I'm going to Google it when I get home, so that's what I'm going to do.
So when you phone a friend, you'll be Googling it.
Oh, Alabama.
Crimson Tide?
Crimson Tide.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was going through the Big Ten, and I can't even think of the Big Ten teams. Well, I think
Miami,
Hurricanes.
okay, Miami Hurricane. Is it a hurricane or hurricanes? It's hurricane.
I think there's a Canes on the end of it. S on the end of that.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Andrea Green at the line here. She misses her first foul shot. The foul was on Ivy, by the way.
Okay. Fundamentally, I love watching the way West plays. They box out. They play strong defense. They play unselfish basketball.
And Gales gets her first basket of the night.
Yeah.
Gales' fourth leading scorer in the team, 5.7.
Henderson's quickly becoming one of my favorite players to watch. Her footwork's fantastic on defense.
Off the rim.
The hustle play.
Oh, nice job, and they get it.
A reach foul.
That's going to be on Ash. That'll be her third. And coming into the ball game right now is Jada Mason, a 5'4" senior. Seeing her first action here for the Firebirds. I would imagine right now from this point on in the game, we're going to get to see some new faces here for the West.
Yep, I think you're right.
Oh, Prohaska just threw it up there, but did not go. Still fighting for the rebound, and on the floor, Ballou and Riggins. Or I'm sorry, Ballou and Rogers.
That's an example of possibility of a concussion situation.
There you go. Yeah.
Throwing your head right back into it. I tell you what, the referees have done a nice job this evening too, by the way. Got to keeping balance, but at the same time, keeping consistent.
Yep. Stolen by Prohaska on the inbounds and gets the basket. So Abby has 11 in this quarter, 17 for the game.
Wow.
And still fighting for a steal. All-time leading scorer in the history of Lakota West in steals, and continues to add to that total. Here you see Miss Prohaska.
She just has this motor, it just never stops.
Going to trade that red and white for green next year. Green and gold.
I wish she was still staying in red and white for the Buckeyes, my alma mater.
On the other hand, I wish she was red and black for the Bearcats, mine. So.
I won't hold that against you.
Yeah, okay. Either way, we want her to be in red.
Yeah, you're right about that. I believe I saw this, my son mentioned this to me, I believe, but the leading scorer nationally in the college basketball is the player that came out of Princeton. I can't remember her name.
Oh, Kelsey Mitchell.
Yes.
She broke the all-time Big Ten scoring record this past week.
That's what I heard.
Yes. I remember her. She was
something else to watch.
She was a scoring machine.
Yeah.
I mean, she was.
And anywhere on the floor, by the way. She had it all.
I believe I did a game one time, which I want to say she scored 50 in the game.
Michael Jordan-esque.
Yes.
Oh. Bounce pass would have been better served there.
Yeah.
I think she got caught between them.
That was a low-line drive. And
Short hopped her.
Blue couldn't hold on to it down there. And Blue picks up the frustration foul there on the on the errant pass. That's 4 fouls now for the Firebirds. 19.6 seconds ago. Firebirds 42-point lead.
And to your point, we see Jada Mason on the floor now for
Yep.
Lakota West.
Jada is a senior.
Yep.
And there's the first three-pointer, or second three-pointer for Hamilton tonight. That's the second one by Ash, so she has 6 points, all on from the three-point arc. And we have played 3 quarters with the Firebirds up 55-17. Hamilton will be, well, I know Coach, or 16, I'm sorry, there's 16 points up there. I know Coach Phillips was saying before the game tonight, he has a tough run coming up here because their next game's at Mason. So then they're going to be back home for a non-league game in Baden. They'll be at Sycamore, and they'll finish their season, Hamilton Big Blue, with Lakota East. Lakota West, their next game will be at Coleraine this Saturday night. Next week, it will be with Princeton. We just mentioned about Kelsey Mitchell and the former Princeton Viking, and we will, Steve and I will be over here a week from today for that game with Princeton, and that will be senior night here for the for Lakota West.
Is that right?
And West will finish the season at Mason.
Wow.
Interesting. So they've run the table this year in the league. As they said, they came in undefeated, 12-0 in the league, and they're 17-1. But if you look at it, they're 17-0 against Ohio teams. Their only loss was the first game of the season against Hamilton Heights, a team out of Tennessee. They lost that 55-40 that game. Kind of a bad way to begin your season, but they made up for it by winning 17 in a row since that time. And they came in this week number 2 in the state. Newark, of course, the number 1 team in the state of Ohio.
You know, sometimes those early losses kind of help. It kind of brings the team together and gets a purpose.
Shot was no good. We began fourth quarter right here with Lakota West.
Great hustle by Jada under the basket.
And
there.
we're still Westchester Television too, so
Hey, step up.
Hamilton Hall. So in the state rankings, West is 2nd. Mount Notre Dame is 7th in the state, the defending state champion, and Mason is 13th in the state. City Poll West is number 1 in the city. Mason's number 3 in the city. Princeton number 9, Fairfield number 10. So GMC well represented in Division I, and that is stolen by Ash. And according to Coach Fishman, on the national level, the Firebirds are ranked 23rd by ESPN.com.
Just to make that list is quite an accomplishment.
Absolutely. Oh, what a play by Jones right there. Gales with the basket. Jones. I don't know if we got that on a replay, but Jones, yeah, we're going to play that late. We'll see that a little bit later on, but what a move by Sarah Jones. There's Riggins' first basket of the game. Can you believe that?
Wow.
We played him over 3 quarters. She's only been under 10, we said, once a season. That was against Mason. She has 6 in this game. Prohaska steps back. 3-pointer, no good.
What a steal.
Offensive rebound. Oh, my gosh, that was Gales underneath. Here we're going to see this again. This is the Jones play again. Look at Jones. Look at that pass.
Yeah.
Perfect to Gales.
Well, if you see right before she made the steal, her eyes were up, and she knew exactly where her teammate was.
Yeah.
There it is right there, and then now she can pass it right on in. Great look.
Best assist of the night, I will call that one.
Oh, that's a travel. Oh, a no call.
Cardwell.
When you do a jump stop, you got to land the feet together. She kind of 1-2'd it, but no call.
Henderson picks up a foul. That's her first. That's team's 5th. And Cardwell is going to be at the line. She's 1 for 2 tonight. 54% foul shooter, and now 2 for 3.
You know, I wasn't at the first Hamilton West game, but this has a similar feel, I'm going to guess, because the scoring is very similar to some degree.
63
to 31.
Yep. And she missed the second one? I think she missed. Knocked out of bounds.
West
Going
ball.
to stay down West ball. Gale's going to be triggering in. Gale's the junior. Jada's looking in, and she
Reach foul.
it's in Dean, and it's reach in, so it's Cardwell. It's only her first foul. It's only the second one for Hamilton. Hamilton was got into foul trouble quickly in the first half, but they've only had 2 fouls this second half. Oh, Blues fighting underneath there, offensive rebound, but could not make it drop. Ash off the backboard a little bit too hard. Put up by Wells, no good, and out of bounds, and it's going to stay down to Hamilton's side.
That should have been an easy basket for Ash. He kind of hesitated, didn't quite make the move to the basket, and then end up in a position of no man's land. Kind of taking a little bit outside shot, it ended up being a little too hard. She could have just done a layup.
Kira's going to be triggering in now for the Big Blue. And the Wells. Now there is Ash. No good. Shots get the offensive rebound on the
That's a travel
3-point.
One or the other. Yep.
Foul is on Dean. That's her third. And that was going to put Jay Wells at the line tonight. She is yet to score, only 31% from the foul line for the senior. Got that one, though. She's in the books now with her first point. That one's short. Rebounded by Ballou.
Right now, Diamond, up, Haley.
Henderson.
Coach Phillips looking for the trap, but never came.
Long three-pointer misses everything. And Ash wisely dribbles it off the foot of a West player.
Stay up there, Haley. CC, go.
Jordini Ivy is back in the
Up, Haley.
ball game.
Anna, get it. Anna. Go, Haley, go.
It's a good give and go.
Yeah, and just did not fall.
Nice block.
Nice block underneath there by Dean. Oh, nice feed.
Yeah.
That's from Blue with the basket, but the feed was by Gales. Gales with the assist.
Push it.
Once again, excellent footwork from Ballou with the drop step.
Ball screen. Ball screen. Use the screen. Go. Ball screen again.
Firebirds average is 3.5 a game. They're 4 from that right now.
Nice
Oh,
running
nice,
jumper.
nice move by Cardwell. That's her first basket, her 4th point. Oh, a bit too deep on the pass there as
Yeah,
Dean's
West
out
forcing the
of
ball a little bit to the inside. They really don't need to do that.
Jessica Clark, number 22, seeing her first action here tonight for the Firebirds, coming off of the JV squad. JV squad did win their game here tonight easily for Lakota West.
Clark a junior, right?
Clark is a junior.
Now, screen. Screen.
Carwell off the screen. 10-footer. 12-footer, no good. And basket out, fight underneath the basket, and we have a foul. They're going to call it on Dean. That's her 4th foul.
That will be in the bonus.
Hamilton still sitting with 2 fouls here with 3:55 to go in the game.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a score management there, too.
Stella Lacusa, a 6'1" sophomore, is in the ball game now for her first action tonight for the Firebirds. She's number 12.
Yep.
CC Riggins. Got it. CC has 7 points, and 5 of them are from the foul line. Well, she's equaled her season low right now with that 8 points.
You bring up an interesting point, though. Most of them coming from the free throw line.
She's 6 for 6 from the foul line with 80% foul shooter, not too surprising. 59. We understand from Kyle, she was 12 for 16 shooting against Coleraine.
Pretty strong. Little body
Cardwell, oh, nice move by Cardwell, and she gets the basket and she gets the foul.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier how close this score is, how similar this game is shaping out to be.
Stella Lacusa picks up foul, her first. Jada Mason back in the ball game, and Bree Henderson takes a seat on the bench.
At this point, I think Coach is managing the injuries as well, making sure we don't get any silly injuries.
Yeah, that's true. Prohaska left the ball game about 2 minutes ago, and I don't think we'll see her anymore tonight.
I would venture not.
Cardwell misses the foul shot. There's a driving shot, and that is good by Cart. Jessica Cart gets her first basket.
That's another travel.
And we got a player hurt underneath. Cardwell is withering in pain underneath the basket right now. She got tripped up in there. We got an official's timeout right now.
I can tell you she hit the floor pretty strong with her left hip.
Yep. We're going to see that again. See how she gets caught up in that.
Yeah.
See how she just got caught up between a couple of West players.
Yeah, her foot couldn't come down to protect her.
Yep. Got tripped up. You can see her in pain down there. So Anna Cardwell, we hope the best for her. She's a very important player. All players are important players, but she averages almost 8 a game for Coach Phillips.
Looks like she's moving all right now.
I think she might have just, the old proverbial, got the wind knocked out of you. You talk about the concussions. I mean, in the old days, you just said you got your bell rung.
Yeah.
You know, but that doesn't work anymore.
Well, it's kind of funny. I mean, the movement of football, I think, made it very open to everybody's eyes what can happen with concussions. And so I think it was natural progression to where we are today, how serious we take it. But you're right. Back in the day when we played, your bell got rung, your ears were ringing, and you still get up and play and you continue on, not realizing that some of that could be very serious.
Exactly. Turnaround shot was no good by Riggins. Back the other direction now comes West.
Let's see, this is a little bit better for West, where they take their time, set up the offense, run the cuts, look for the open look. I can tell Clark is a little bit lost as to what the offense is looking for here, being fairly new to the squad.
Yep. I tell you, the freshman Ivy, we talked about earlier, she's getting a whole bunch of playing minutes tonight, which is good. This is what you want. This is how you build your program. You get your freshmen and sophomores with all those minutes.
Well, as the old saying goes, this is how the rich get richer. When you're playing well and the score is in control, you have the luxury of playing younger players.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Hamilton's bench, in all fairness to the Big Blue tonight, their bench is thin tonight. They only have like 3 or 4 players on the bench. They have several players out. I don't know the reasons why their players are out, but on their initial roster, they have at least 4 players out. And so makes their bench a bit thin right now.
It's a nice luxury to have the percussion group in there with us today.
Yeah.
A little drum action.
We talked about concussions to percussion. So we're all over the place with that tonight. That's our word tonight. So,
but yeah, it'd be interesting to see if those Hamilton players are out because of injury.
I don't know. I mean, did not check with him. He just said they were out.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, hopefully next week our game next Wednesday with Princeton. We'll get to see Har and Oxley back in action for Wes. They're going to need him next week against that Princeton. The Princeton team's not a bad team.
Yeah, is that right?
And a shot was good and up and good by Lakota. That's her first basket, so she gets in the book here. Right about at their scoring average right now here with 1:47 to go. Of course, I can call her the legendary coach Jill Phillips. Was over at Princeton for many, many years. Won a state championship over there with Kelsey Mitchell, the person we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
And then shot was no good by Hamilton. And then she came over to the East for a couple years and went back to Princeton. She's been back to Princeton starting her second year back at Princeton again. And once again, the Vikings back to a winning record again. So
is she an alum from Princeton?
I'm not sure. I don't think she is.
Oh.
But she was over there for many, many years. And
nice stroke.
Shot was good by Ivy. She's got they're going to give her they give her a 3 on that one.
Yeah,
and they did it. That's 7 points for the freshman. Under a minute to go here in this ball game. West going to move to 18-1 overall, 13-0 in the league. Hamilton will get to the 500 mark, 9-9 overall, 5-8 in the league. West has 3 more league games, so really the league's still up in the air right now. And
there's such a tight battle with Mason
right,
coming
Mason,
down the stretch.
Yeah, Mason only has 1 loss, and that one, of course, was to West. So, turnaround.
Nice
that's
shot.
by Riggins, or was that by?
That's by the freshman.
That's by the. That's by Raven Jackson. She has her. She has a 3-pointer there. So a couple of freshmen on both teams getting in the action right here. Last 14 seconds of this ball game. Abby Prochaska led all scorers with 17 points in this game tonight as the Firebirds win by the score of 66-29. They hold Cece Riggins to 8 points, tying her second lowest of the season. And I think you said right off the bat here, they made that defense. You talked about the pressure, Steve.
Yep.
And it was right from the beginning. That was it. They dictated this game from the first seconds of the game.
Yeah, I mean, even, when the score didn't show what the kind of turnover action was really happening, but you just had to feel West was going to get control of this game.
All right. That's your final right there, 66-29. Steve and I will be back here a week from tonight for West and Princeton girls. For the entire Westchester crew, good night.